Hey YouTube friends! So this is a bit of an off-the-cuff video, just quickly putting it out while it's really relevant for me. And I'll show you what's happening and why this video might be useful to you. So we had winter, and now we have Chinook. And usually we don't get Chinooks this long, this warm, this time of year. Usually a longer Chinook would be February maybe. But we've had about a week of warm weather, not even freezing at night many nights. And today with a lot of rain and a lot of wind earlier, the snow melt has just been incredible. And also some of the ground is thawing, especially up close to the house and stuff. So that little guy there, he's in danger of budding if I don't do something about it, because the ground there is thawing. And at the end of the week we're looking at a -30, so that's going to be a pretty harsh turnaround for these plants because they have no snow cover. So I was talking on my Instagram live earlier. These cedars and some of the more tender evergreen species are especially prone to sun scald, where if the sun shines on them and warms them up enough, the chemicals start happening in the tree to tell it to start growing again. And then once, of course, it gets cold, all those saps and stuff freeze, crystallize, and break inside the cell walls and damage the plant. That also happens on the bark of fruit trees and stuff like that. So with the double whammy of how warm it is, and as soon as the sun starts shining, it's a good idea to either wrap your cedars, wrap your fruit trees anywhere that the bark is especially exposed. You can throw up a sort of a hedge wall behind a hedge to give it shade, just on the south side, to provide shade from that direct sun. And what I'm going to do with these, because they're so small, is I'm actually just going to cover them with straw. So I've got these handy straw bales here that are square bales. And what I'm going to do is actually just make a little, of course it doesn't work now because I'm trying to film it. I'm just going to make a little teepee that'll stand over the plants. That'll help protect them from sun scald. A couple more to go. Not quite sure what I'm going to do about that apple tree over there. He's looking a little bit sad, and he was not in good condition already last year when I planted him. He was a bit of a sad case at the nursery, so I bought him. But thinking I might wrap him, and I'm just going to go around our yard, and each of the little guys that just got planted this year, or anything that is extra exposed. I know there's some perennial flowers up against the house on the other side there that the ground is actually thawed. So I am going to throw a bunch of extra straw on all of that to help slow down the speed at which it thaws out, and also to help slow down the refreeze so that it doesn't do too much damage to the plants. That should help it to be a little bit less drastic than that 30+ degree drop over the course of this week. It's also a good idea, if you live in a Chinook area, to double check that your rain barrels are disconnected and they're not filling up with water. If it's warm enough that you can actually just open the tap and make sure that it's drained. That way you don't have water in the taps that'll cause freezing and breaking. Yeah, so this is what I'm doing today. There you can see I lost a little bit of my straw on the way. Here's my sled. So when you live in an area where you get Chinooks, winter is not predictable and it's not consistent. And so you have to take a few more precautions. I should have done more mulching in the fall, but I had mulched most of the things I was concerned about. It's just because of how extreme this Chinook has been for us. I'm going to go ahead and do some extra mulching now to try and mitigate any additional stress on the plants. Yeah, so I'm just going to sign off here. If you have any questions, please post them below. I'll get to them as soon as I can. And let's chat, commiserate over the season that it is, all you fellow Chinook bearers. All right, we'll see ya.